election season, the CIA must recalibrate their propaganda media wings.
Just remember all the good the purge does.
This year, they are terrified.
Well, what kind of journalist are you?
This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual purge.
Run.
It will be the most epic purge in history.
I purged to keep my country great.
Speaking of somebody who might need a job as a short order cook, Jim Acosta out at CNN. Well, okay, not yet, but maybe. Jim Acosta is threatening to quit CNN because he's being moved to graveyard shift. How much more good news? I mean, are you sick of winning yet? CNN in turmoil as anti-Trump star Jim Acosta threatens to quit over midnight slot move. CNN anchor Jim Acosta is reportedly considering quitting the broadcaster after being demoted from his 10 a.m. show and threatened with banishment to Siberia broadcasting. On Thursday, rumors that Acosta lost his morning show were confirmed by CNN boss Mark Thompson as 200 layoffs in the news division were announced. He'll be replaced at that time by Wolf Blitzer and Pamela Brown. Acosta is in talks with CNN bosses about another as yet unconfirmed role. We were in active discussions with Jim about a new time slot and have more information soon. The claims the anti-Trump anchor is destined for the graveyard slot at midnight have him pondering his future. The LA Times reporting that Acosta may now exit the network, according to people familiar with his thinking. He can go the way of Don Lemon and do these like extremely cringe TikToks and TikTok lives and whatever the hell Don Lemon is doing. Whatever Don Lemon is doing, I hear literally nothing about him anymore. And I used to hear a lot of headlines about Don Lemon. And banishment to obscurity is actually the greatest punishment for these people. They would probably prefer a Guantanamo Bay cell instead of people just not caring about them. So utterly narcissistic, so nihilistic. They just like, the cell. This is kind of like the iconoclast of somebody who made news about them. And, you know, I realize that we broadcast to channels that have our name on them, but like that's a different model than the CNN model. Okay, the independent news and influencer model is totally different than I am going to be King Jim Acosta, the king of the White House, the king of truth, yelling and screaming and fighting White House staff. Remember, he did that. He like physically assaulted White House staff, a woman. And I'm going to do that with all of the weight of a billion-dollar company, CNN, behind me. It's completely different. Meanwhile, Fox News reported that Acosta is getting hosed inside of CNN offices over shocking demotion. An insider suggested that accepting a midnight to 2 a.m. slot is his only path forward at the network. Acosta's 10 a.m. ratings are good, but his notorious past clashes with Donald Trump are said to have made the network bosses nervous as Trump begins his second term. His verbal sparring matches with the administration and president himself saw him lose his press pass at one point. CNN successfully sued. However, network chiefs are said to be keenly aware and trying to water down the theatrics, moving Acosta to Siberia of television. So there you go. CNN and NBC News doing mass layoffs today. Meanwhile, we're hiring. Not Jim Acosta, though. Jim Acosta, you know, we totally hire Jim Acosta. We need people to refill the Coke Zeros, yeah, to make the coffee. We need people around here to clean up, you know. There are janitorial services, but, you know, you can always use a little fresh, you know, scrub down. Jim Acosta could, you know, do DoorDash or Uber Eats on the side. And, you know, there could be a whole new special life for you out there. He'll wind up on, dude, Jim Acosta's going to wind up like on TikTok making like the saddest, the most pathetic, saddest possible content. It's so cringe. It's so embarrassing how these people like think they can just go out and do what we do and like do streaming. They do not understand how pampered and pretentious their little lives are. And it's so fun to watch them go do this. This is what Chris Wallace said he was going to do. Chris Wallace is going to get into podcasting. Same with Jen Rubin. Oh, good luck. Good luck. I encourage you to. I want you. I'm the only guy that I want more competition. Do it. I want it. I beg you, in fact. Jim Acosta's CNN colleagues applaud his banishment to the night shift after Trump baiting made him the network's least popular anchor. So now everyone's turning on Jim Acosta. Nobody loves himself like Jim Acosta loves himself. He's insufferable and an egomaniac. If he can make himself part of the story, he will. That's exactly what I'm saying. These are what CNN employees are telling the Daily Mail. Jim is one of the least liked, most eye-rolled of all-time talent at CNN. And this has been a long-standing status. Another added, his jealousy is even visibly thicker than his makeup and hardened hair gel. Jeez, just freaking savages. Acosta, 53, became famous for fighting with Donald Trump at press briefings and bickering. You are rude, terrible, nasty person. President Trump clapped back. To the botherer in chief. Man, so they're going after, they're taking the long knives out for Jim. You remember this? This is where he assaulted the female staffer. So this is a female staffer, and he grabbed, she was trying to get the microphone because he was done asking his question. So he got to ask his question. And then Donald Trump has to sit there and defend the female staffer. Do you actually have this? Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure, why not? Let's go.
It's not an invasion.
Honestly, I think you should let me run the country. You run CNN.
All right.
And if you did it well, your ratings would be much better.
If I may ask one other question. Mr. President, if I may ask one other question, are you worried?
That's enough. That's enough.
Mr. President, I
was
going to ask one of the other folks.
That's enough.
Pardon me, ma'am. Mr. President,
that's enough.
Mr. President, I had one other
Peter,
question, if I may ask, on the Russia investigation. Are you concerned that you may have?
I'm not concerned about anything with the Russian investigation because it's a hoax. That's enough. Put down the mic.
Mr. President, are you worried about indictments coming down in this investigation? Mr. President.
What a piece of garbage. So good for you. You know, there's something else that happens there that's very, very interesting. You know, there are other reporters around that want to ask questions, and they may also hate Donald Trump. But you don't get a chance to, like, filibuster the entire time. Other people have to do their jobs as well. Anti-Trump Jim Acosta threatens to quit CNN. Oh, the Trump curse is so real. Acosta is reportedly considering leaving the network after being stripped of his 10 a.m. show. This is, by the way, the stripping of the show did not come because of rating. Now, ratings challenged CNN. CNN's ratings are absolutely in the tank. CNN ratings collapse. They are down 60%. There's no way that they can even... There's absolutely no way that they can even keep the current employment. This is why they fired 200 people today. There's a lot of people getting fired. But Jim Acosta's show, shockingly, was one that was doing fine. I'm not sure it's doing good, but it's doing fine. We get more viewers than Jim Acosta. And I thank you for that. I just want to send hearts to the chat. But this move is because Donald Trump is back in town. And clearly, the heads of CNN want to appease Donald Trump and want to play ball. And no doubt in my mind that one of the ways, that one of the leverage points to ensure that they were able to play ball is to say, you're going to make sure that I never turn on the TV and see Jim Acosta on there. Man, the Trump curse, dude, is so real. CNN major overhaul as it enters new Trump era. Mark Thompson has promised, this is the guy in charge of CNN, to reinvent CNN as he's arrived in 2023. Now he's making the network's TV lineup and its workforce. They're going to invite us on CNN? Is that what's going to happen? They're going to actually start bringing on conservatives? Give people news when and where they want it. Mark Thompson, CNN chief executive, is one of the brilliant minds Ted Turner had when he started the network at the dawn of the cable TV news era. CNN doesn't follow that advice. The digital age, Mark Thompson said, the company may not longer exist. So he's actually talking about ending CNN entirely. This is a moment where digital news feels like an existential question. Mr. Thompson says in an interview, if we do not follow the audience to new platforms with real conviction and scale, the future prospects will not be good. Well. So it looks like they are talking about what we do every single day. Welcome to the party, pal. CNN announcing 200 layoffs. Well, you know what? F around, find out. CNN layoffs revealed to be high-paid hosts who insisted he was leaving to pursue podcasts. Look at this guy, Chris Wallace. Remember Chris Wallace? Mr. wouldn't let Donald Trump bring up to Joe Biden's face Hunter Biden's crimes. Remember that? Because he's butt buddies with Joe Biden. Because he's best friends with Joe Biden. Chris Wallace and Joe Biden are best friends. Even though he's working at Fox News at the time. Yeah. The atomization of corporate media is upon us. Every show on MSNBC is down by between 50 and 60%. It's unsustainable. Unsustainable. CNN in flames. MSNBC in flames. You can see the numbers. You can see the numbers here. This is crazy. These are crazy numbers. Dude, this is the key demo right here, 25 to 54. You can see this, like Fox News does 200,000. MSNBC does 41,000. That's crazy. We have, across our platforms, we have 3 times that watching this live right now. That's just wild, man. Just wild. What an incredible change in the world that we got to be a part of. And we got to build together. And we're going to build a better and new future. And it's going to be really exciting. CNN banishes Acosta. It's so fun to see. CNN is officially, I guess they're officially moving Acosta. Now they're all running like Oppo against him. And now they're going to probably just going to quit at this point. Probably just going to quit. Man, ladies and gentlemen, we will never quit. We are absolutely team never quit. Oh, I see what you got in there. Okay. Our dear friend, Tim Burchett. Maybe this might be Jim Acosta's last time on CNN. Tim Burchett roasting Acosta to his face. This is Congressman Tim Burchett of Tennessee. Ladies and gentlemen, maybe Jim Acosta's last moment on CNN. Here we go.
I was at the White House covering the first Trump administration when they had rioting outside of the White House. I mean, that was covered on CNN. What you're saying, this is not Fox, Congressman. You can't just spin a tail and pull the wool over people's eyes. Yeah. This is CNN. This is the news. We are asking you to come on and tell the truth.
And that's why more people are watching the Cartoon Network SpongeBob reruns right now, Jim. Look, I left the White House during a riot. My life was threatened. My life has been threatened within the last few weeks, yet there's no coverage of that. And you all continue this narrative of attacking Trump. You just can't stand the fact that he won and that America spoke.
Congressman,
and that your view is very diminished.
That's not the case at all.
And your view is very diminished.
Daggum. I'm seeing the comments section right now. You know that we have a Tim Burchett emoji, right? In the comments. Here we go. I'll put it over there. Daggum. The only show with a daggum emoji. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is good and exciting news all around. I think we might as well just close the way that this all started. President Trump's first press conference ever as president. First press conference ever as president. This is President Trump calling Jim Acosta fake news to his face. Where were you when this actually happened?
Don't be rude.
You're attacking us. Can you give us a question?
Don't be rude.
Can you give us a question?
I'm not going to give you a question.
Can you stay categorically?
You are fake news.
You are fake news. All right.